run.
Humanity is waking up.
Alex Jones and the GCN
That's
Radio
where the real
Network.
march is happening, folks. Stay with us.
A chemical spill contaminating the water supply in 9 West Virginia counties.
This year alone, over 300,000 people in West Virginia had their drinking water contaminated.
What are the health effects of having these drugs in our drinking water?
It's forced medical treatment without the consent of residents.
My friends, water filtration is one of the most basic actions you can take to protect you and your family from the harmful toxins and heavy metals in your tap water.
On average, the county says it sprays with the glyphosate at least once a week.
Few filters cut out the glyphosate that is found in water supplies worldwide. Remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, hydrofluorosilicic acid, sodium hexafluorosilicate.
Fluoride, it is in tea, it's in coffee, it's in water, it's in bread, it's in toothpaste.
It is our responsibility to protect our families. The establishment's not going to do it. It's time to take action. It's time to filter our water. Visit InfoWarsStore.com and use promo code WATER to get 10% off their entire family of incredible products. Or call toll-free 888-253-3139. From the water table to our soils to the atmosphere itself, our world is becoming more and more toxic each and every day. But it's not just the air outside that's toxic. Indoor air has been shown to have 2 to 5 times higher concentrations of pollutants than even outdoor air. And most Americans spend 90% of their time inside using toxic chemicals within their homes. There are more than 42 million smokers in the United States. Well over 1,000 types of mold and mildew linked to numerous conditions. And don't forget the fact that 6 million Americans live with pets they're allergic to as well. When I began to research these statistics, it was clear to me it was time to start cleansing my lungs in order to combat the toxic environment that we cannot escape, but that we can fight back against. Made with organic and wild cultivated herbs and manufactured in the USA, the new InfoWars Life Lung Cleanse is here in a convenient spray bottle that can be brought with you throughout any toxic environment. Now available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. I began to get into iodine a few years ago because it was helping me and my family so much get healthy and detoxify. Most people know that iodine deficiency has been a crisis around the world. Iodine is key to so many of the body's functions, especially the thyroid. I discovered a product being developed by Dr. Group. You now know it as Survival Shield True Nascent Iodine that your body can really absorb. Then, about a year ago, he said, listen, if you think this is powerful, I'm going to come out with rare earth, deep earth crystals. And the results that I personally have had have been life-changing. Nobody else has got iodine based on these pure crystals, ladies and gentlemen. This is innovating, and the best part is it helps fund Infowars.com, the radio show, the TV show, the whole media operation promoting true libertarian ideas. For a limited time, experience the ancient power of Survival Shield X2. Take advantage of this unprecedented 30% off super detox special at InfoWarsLife.com.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order, it's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
A lot of times I get hysterical on air. My dad sent me a text last hour. He said, you sound hysterical. Well, you know what? That's real. I was a little bit hysterical last hour. I can get up here and act all stoic and manly and talk real slow. And I'll do that when that's really how I feel. But I think I've been successful at waking up about as many people as anybody has out there. When you talk to most people, they say, who woke you up to what's happening in the world? They'll say 3 names. Alex Jones, Ron Paul, or David Icke. 3 very different individuals in many ways. But still, we've been the most successful. Why is that? We should study that. We should look at that. I'm going to ask David that question in a moment and expand out what this new phase means. But some days I'm totally calm. Some days I'm screaming for an hour. Not as much as I used to. But I'm not in my comfort zone with what's going on. Our government publicly changing the name to Al-Qaeda. You can hear them in PR boardrooms coming up with this new thing like Coca-Cola. A new name, ISIS, makes it sound really cool. They're committing all these crimes, and it lets me know what they want to do to me. Wherever Christians are, not big establishment Christians, but old communities of Christians worldwide, the globalists want to go in and exterminate them. I want to get David Icke's take on that because I have the raw numbers. The UN even admits that's happening, and getting a lot of other issues with David Icke. Briefly, we have some amazing supplements, and I didn't even plug anything last hour, skip breaks earlier. This is also how we fund our operation. So buy your war bonds in the InfoWar. Get a PrisonPlanet.tv membership. 11 people can use it. Share it with friends and family. It's only $5.95 a month. That helps pay for the bandwidth, the crew, the cameras, the reporters. You see how we've been expanding thanks to your support and your help. Get a PrisonPlanet.tv membership. See all my films in HD, the nightly news, a lot of other documentaries, and so much more. PrisonPlanet.tv. We're fighting the Prison Planet with PrisonPlanet.tv. Now, I want to thank those of you that are members. Go to InfoWarsLife.com. We're running a detox special with the Fluoride Shield Chelating Detox, discounted massively with the new Survival Shield X2 Nascent Iodine, the only deep earth crystal form that we know of existing. Believe me, we tried to find it. It was hard, and it just has such an amazing effect on me and my family. You can see videos on the website with Dr. Group breaking down the effects of this and why they put all the bad halogens in the food and the water, but take the iodine out. And when there is iodine, it's the bound type. This is the true nascent iodine. Turns into a purple gas. We tested other iodines before manufacture. They don't do that. This is the real deal, ladies and gentlemen. Research iodine science, and you'll find out what we're talking about. InfoWarsLife.com to see the still shots, the videos, and more. The Super Detox specials, more than 30% off when you get both bottles together. A lot of other specials. We're going to sell out this week of the lung cleanse. It'll be another month till more of that comes in. Just a lot of great products at InfoWarsLife.com. And then, of course, at InfoWarsStore.com, hundreds of books and films made in America, pro-liberty apparel to meet like-minded people and to promote freedom and to support the broadcast. Everything we do has to benefit the InfoWar, raising human awareness and consciousness to what's happening, support you, be high quality, and support us. I only believe in win-win-wins. I'm obsessed with it. And I notice my whole life I've done that. That's why I've been successful and I sleep well at night. But now I'm more and more become totally obsessed with it. I mean, it's got to be a win-win-win-win-win. And everything at InfoWars.com, at PrisonPlanet.com, at InfoWarsStore.com, at InfoWarsHealth.com, at InfoWarsLife.com is a win-win-win-win-win. That is my philosophy. With the globalist, they'll go 100 miles out of their way to make sure you don't get anything from them. We've all run into people that don't like making you dinner, don't like making you feel good, don't have hospitality. The type of people that really enjoy thinking they get something, you get nothing. And that's the New World Order predatory philosophy. And there's a battle for the future of this planet. DavidIcke.com is his website. We're very honored to have him on with us today. I'm trying to give him the floor now and let him break down all the questions I've thrown out about what is this next level the elite are moving into. In the football game analogy, we are seeing a big awakening, but where does he expect all this to go, David Icke?
Well, it's been a progression, clearly, along a road going way back. You know, people like George Orwell and Aldous Huxley with 1984 and Brave New World, they weren't coming from their imagination entirely, or even much of it. They were coming from a point of view of having access to the projected agenda.
And they both said that. They both said that in public white papers. Yeah.
And, you know, in my last couple of books, I quoted a man called Dr. Richard Day, who was a Rockefeller insider. He was an executive of Planned Parenthood. And in 1969, he was addressing a meeting of pediatricians in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And for some reason, only he knows, he asked people to not take notes and not record anything because he was going to tell them how the world was going to change. And what he then did was tell them what was coming and why, And one of the pediatricians did take notes and later did some interviews before he died explaining what this Richard Day said. And what Richard Day described, and remember, 1969, it's what, 20 years after Orwell, and he was describing the world we're living in today, or moving more and more in today, in all aspects of society. This is a plan that is projected forward in great detail. Therefore, what's coming is what they plan to come, and that will be upping the ante. It will be increasing the pressure. It will be moving further along the road in all these different areas, everything from GMO and food to additives like that, to the radiation agenda, which is phenomenal. You mentioned iodine a few minutes ago, Alex. Millions and millions and millions of times more radiation, technologically generated, than there was 50 years ago, that we're now kind of living in, like this sea of technological radiation. And given that we have an electromagnetic field, an electromagnetic level, that is going to impact and does impact upon us. And if the electromagnetic level, the electromagnetic field, which some people call the auric field, is disrupted by technological radiation, that plays through into the body as a distortion and a disruption, and we call that mental or emotional or physical dis-ease. So it's progressing, just as we can look back and see how it's progressed. But of course, there are certain points where it progresses very fast because of events that are orchestrated. And of course, the best example of that is 9/11, where the agenda moved forward more in the 10 years after 9/11 than it had in a lot longer time before that. And when Cheney's talking about another 9/11, when Lindsey Graham, when he opens his mouth, just like John McCain, he is speaking the cabal's agenda. He's talking about another 9/11. Over here, we're getting just the same, Alex, with the Prime Minister David Cameron warning about, we've got to increase surveillance because of the terrorists coming back to Britain. We've got this guy today, Liam Fox. Liam Fox is a British politician who's simply an agent of Israel. That's all he is. He's an agent of Israel. And he has come out today and said we need to have more surveillance, etc., more Big Brother, in effect, to meet the challenge from jihadists coming back to Britain. So we are facing this fork in the road between the free thinkers and between those that just accept the agenda and download it, and the number that go that way or that way will decide where we go as a human race, because we've shown when they wanted to move the Syrian invasion, which is what it is, in fact, they wanted to move that along because it was behind the timeline. People opposing that stopped that bombardment and affected the agenda, because people like you and me and all the others that do this, the idea is not to be proved right. It's for what the agenda is not to happen. It's about using that information to head off what's happening, and so it's not just about watching your own prison being built. Oh look, they're putting the roof on now. Look, you see that? I told you they'd do that, didn't I? We need to stop the roof going on. And one of the things that is fundamental to that is that we put down the fault lines of divide and rule. Because what's happening in the Muslim world, in the Middle East, is just classic divide and rule. And we have different factions of politics. We have religions played off against each other. We have, scientific belief systems played off against religious belief systems. We need to put that down and say, hold on a second. There's a common theme here, and that's that we're all the target for this unfolding global fascist agenda. And therefore, if we don't come together now and put down our differences and focus on what should unite us all, and that's what is going to affect us all and is affecting us all, then when we're in some concentration camp eventually, if we get that far, then we can have a lovely discussion over who's got the best religion and who's got the best politics and who's got the best whatever. but by then it will be too late. And what they want, if you're targeting a vast population and there's comparatively few of you, and my